Significant figures have different rules when we have calculations. No, the calculator will not provide the appropriate number of significant figures. That's why we need to track down our calculators. So the first thing we need to know how to do is rounding our answers. When the first digit dropped is 4 or less. For example, in this case, we have 45.832. If we want to cut here to 3 significant figures, we take a look. We're going to cut it right here where this 8 is. We look to the right, it's a 3. Therefore, it's less than 4, so we don't do anything. And we just keep it as 45.8 if we want to round to 3 significant figures. The other case is when the first digit dropped is 5 or greater. For example, if we have this number over here and we want to round it to 2 significant figures, we'll have 1 and 2, and then we'll have to cut it right here. We stop it right here with our 4. We look to the right, it's an 8. 8 is greater than 5, so we need to add 1 to this one. So our number will be 2.5. Another thing that the calculator will not do for us is adding zeros. So for example, if you know that your answer should have 3 sig figs and you get this number, the correct way to answer will be 4.00. So this 1.5, if you have to do it with 3 sig figs, it will be 1.50. 0.2 with 3 sig figs will be 0.200. And 12 with 3 sig figs, it will be 12.0. The first rule we're going to learn with significant figures in calculations is going to be multiplication and division. When we're doing this, the most important thing is to count the number of significant figures. For this, for example, we have this number over here. This number has 4 sig figs. This one over here has 2 sig figs. When we put this number in our calculator, right, this is what the calculator gives us. But this is not what we're going to report as our answer. Why? Because our answer has to have the smallest number of sig figs. This one had 4, this one has 2. Our answer will have only 2. So we're going to cut 1, 2. We're going to cut it right here. Look to the right, is a 0, so we don't have to add anything, and our answer will be 5.3. So when we're doing this calculation, we put 2.19 times 4.2 in the calculator, we get this result in the calculator, right? This number has 3 sig figs, this number has 2, our answer should have 2 sig figs. We're going to cut it here. 1, 2, right here. Look to the right, it's a 9, so we have to add 1 to this. And the correct answer will be 9.2. Same thing with this one. 4.311 divided by 0.07. When we do this in our calculator, we get this number, 6,1.58571429. That's not the correct way to answer our problem. We see here we have 4 sig figs, here we have 1. Our answer should only have 1 sig fig. So we're going to cut it right here. To the left, to the right, what do we see? A 1. If we want to round to the correct number of sig figs, that will be 60. When you are doing this, do all the numbers in your calculator first. Don't forget to write parentheses. So you will have to open parentheses, 2.54 times 0.0028, close parentheses, divided by, open parentheses, 0.0105 times 0.060, close parentheses, and then enter. Your calculator will give you this answer. we look at the number of sig figs. Here we have 3, 2, 3, 2. Our answer should have only 2. And the correct way will be 11. The next rule is addition and subtraction. When we're doing addition and subtraction, we are counting the number of decimal places. So for example, here we have 1 decimal place. Here we have 2. When we add it, this is what we get in our calculator. But our answer is going to have the one with the smallest number of decimal places, which is in this case only 1. So we are going to have only 1 decimal place. We look to the right, it's a 4. We don't have to do anything, so we report as 26.5. So let's take a look of this. Our problem say the first one has, this one has 2 decimal places. This one has 1, and this one has none. So our answer when we put it in the calculator is this. But because this one has no decimal places, our answer should have no decimal places. So we will report up to here. Take a look to the right, it's greater than 5, so we have to add 1. The answer will be 257. Same thing here. This one has 3 decimal places, this one has 1. We take a look in our calculator, this is what the calculator say, but we're going to report with only 1 decimal place. So the answer will be 40.7. We take a look to the right, it's a 2, we don't have to add anything. Then we have 12.20 minus 2.2. The calculator is giving you 10. Correct? How many decimal places here? 2. In here we have 1. Our answer has to have 1. Even if the calculator is not giving it to you, you have to provide it. So the answer will be 10.0. And the last one will be, the answer that the calculator gives you is 2.9. Correct? We see 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. Our answer should have 2 decimal places. So even though the calculator is not giving, it's not providing it, we'll have to write 2.90 in order to have the correct number of sig figs. So we will be doing prefixes and equalities. Prefixes are put in front of a unit to tell you to increase it or decrease it. For example, kilo is times 10 to the third, deci 10 to the -1, centi -2, milli -3, micro -6. All these prefixes over here are need to be memorized for any quiz or exam. Some other prefixes are here. Not all of these have to be memorized. Again, kilo is important, deci, centi, milli, and micro. These are the prefixes that we need to memorize for quizzes and exams. So for example, 1 second is 100 centiseconds. So we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is micro. So this is equal to 1 gram. Here we have 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. And here is 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. Another unit that is important for us to know is volume. Units of volume could be either in milliliter or could also be in centimeter cube. For the purposes of this class, and we will need to know this, 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, which is equal to 1 cc.